Go ahead, bro.
Anyway, hey man, you gotta be careful what you say. Every other word, man. Every other word that you speak, man, you're gonna have to break that down, man. Break that down.
Yeah, it was brought to my attention on the chat. You know, the elder Dr. Zakbar was saying that that bug out.
Yeah, Maccabees. Yeah, I seen them comments. I didn't really say that.
Hey, you don't know the scriptures, my man.
You on our
Spirit is not.
Yeah, he was on our comment. I just didn't say that because the spirit was
like,
moving.
He's a madman.
It's on like 1 or 2%.
You know, and you can't really refute what we're saying here, bro.
Also, like coiled up.
The scriptures is pretty much making it plain. But like the scriptures also say, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so they stumble about to the wicked.
Right? So, see if that was a circuit thing.
And we know that wisdom will not dwell in a malicious soul. All right? It will flee deceit. All right? So that's you're not going to understand this as long as that malicious spirit is in you, man. Yeah, we already know.
You look at the chat?
Yeah, man.
Somebody get 2nd Ezra's the 3rd chapter though.
I was there. The GNT?
Yeah, GNT.
The 2nd Ezra chapter 3 and verse 4 on the GNT version. It says, O Lord and Master, I said, you and you alone spoke the word at the beginning of creation and formed the world. At your command, the dust produced the lifeless body of Adam. Then with your hands, you shaped it. You breathed into it the breath of life, and he began to live. You brought him into the Garden of Eden, which you yourself had planted before the earth was made. You gave him just one commandment, but he disobeyed it. And you disobeyed it. And you immediately made him and his descendants subject to death.
Subject to death.
Yeah.
You see that? After he went off, following after Eve, what she took from the serpent, we inherited death. All right? And that's why corruption took its root into the sons of God, and that's the reason why they start to fall away. And the Lord took away their lifespan.
This bug out says, Yahweh's blood gives us access to the new covenant. He was talking about a whole bunch of stupid shit. So
Okay.
the new covenant is bugged. So the new covenant is bugged out.
Is this pressing or what?
That he says the house of Saul versus the real house of David.
Yeah, but Saul was in pursuit of David. David was in pursuit of Saul.
Right.
These dudes that just bug out. Whatever's just in their mind, that's their justification. I guess that helps them sleep better at night.
Yeah.
You know. But they ain't got no explanation. They're off. But the Lord is hardening their hearts to believe this bullshit until the Lord comes back and rectify everything. We're gonna continue to edify the body. All right. But finish that in 2nd Ezra 3.
Continuing in verse 7, it says, from Adam were born more nations, tribes, clans, and families that can be counted. All the nations.
You got the sons of men, the sons of the wicked, and the sons of God. All right, the third part of man. Go ahead.
All the nations did whatever they wished. They sinned against you and rejected your commands. But you did nothing to stop them.
Nope.
Then again, after a while, you brought on the flood and destroyed the world's population.
Okay.
They all suffered the same fate. as death had come to Adam, so now death came to a whole generation in the flood.
So even after the flood, that same evil root of wickedness that was sown in the heart of Adam, it continued to increase even after the flood. All of a sudden, you got the Nimrod. He rose to power. You got the Tower of Babel. All these nations coming together up under him, rebelling against the Most High. You know, idolatry, all that, man.
Jake didn't learn from the flood. He's just
Didn't learn.
It's just back
Still
to
continue.
yeah, that wicked, rebellious spirit was back in the earth.
Yep.
You know,
Go
they
ahead.
gonna learn.
Yep.
They gonna learn this go around, this destruction. All the nations gonna learn. All the nations gonna know. You know.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It says, but you spared one man, Noah, with his family and all his righteous descendants. The number of people living on the earth began to increase, and the number of families, tribes, and nations grew. They too fell into sin and were worse than the generations before them.
Yep.
But then you chose Abraham. You loved him, and to him alone in the dead of night.
Yep.
You secretly disclosed how.
Notice he made a covenant with those particular men. Those men who were the purest in his eyes were the men who he made those covenants with.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says you loved them, and to him alone in the dead of night. You secretly disclosed how the world would end.
Go ahead.
You made an everlasting covenant with him and promised him that you would never abandon his descendants.
Yep.
You gave him Isaac, and to Isaac you gave Jacob and Esau.
Yep. That's the chosen line. All right. The Lord never done away with that lineage. So much for your replacement theology. Right. Go ahead.
You chose Jacob, and his descendants became a great nation, but you rejected Esau.
Of course. Go ahead.
Yeah, but in the I think in the KJV it said pass by.
Pass by.
Pass by.
Yeah. Yep.
You rescued the descendants of Jacob from Egypt and led them to Mount Sinai.
Uh-huh. And what did we receive at Mount Sinai?
Yeah, come on.
That's when we received the covenant. That's when we received the laws, the commandments. Right? And it was what? It was written on the tablet of stone. And there was a reason for that. Go ahead.
It says, there you bent down the skies, shook the earth, moved the world, made the waters beneath the earth tremble, and brought disorder to the universe. The dazzling light of your presence passed through the four gates of fire. Passed through the four gates of fire, earthquake, wind, and frost, in order to give the law and its commandments to Jacob's descendants, the people of Israel.
Yep.
Yet you did not remove their evil impulse.
Boom. So you see why he found fault with us,
Right.
Yep.
and not in the law.
Yep.
There was nothing wrong with the law or the agreement. The
Yep.
fault was in us.
Yeah.
Right.
But guess what? There was a reason why the Lord left that evil impulse in us.
Yep.
That's that stony heart.
Yeah.
Right.
So under the old letter, we were corruptible, so we couldn't hold our end of the agreement.
Yeah.
That wicked, corruptible nature, it prevented us from keeping every jot, every tittle of the letter. So the Lord had to make a new one.
Hey, upgrade it.
You have to upgrade it, man.
And think about it, you know, for us that know anyway, right? When he upgraded it, what that stony heart, what did we have to do when we had that evil impulse or that stony heart still in us? We had to atone and give sacrifices. So we ain't gonna need the sacrifice in the kingdom of heaven, because we ain't gonna have a reason to go off to atone for it.
Plus, Yahweh Shai was already our
He was
atonement
that
anyway.
full, yeah, he did all of that.
Lamb without blemish.
All we're doing right now is if you want to follow it to the letter, follow Yahweh Shai.
Done.
Follow
Done.
after his example
Yeah.
to the best of your ability. And yes, you're gonna fall short. Otherwise, if you could do it like he did it, then guess what? Him dying, his sacrifice is in vain. You didn't need Yahweh Shai. All right? It tells you that in Galatians 2:21. All right? I do not stress you the grace, you know, that was given to you. All right? Or else it would make the death of Yahweh Shai it would be in vain. So go back to that in 2nd Ezra 3.
Continuing verse 20, it says, "Yet you did not remove their evil impulse, but let your law guide their lives."
But let the law guide their lives. So we had the law, but we still had that evil impulse. So we had to use it as like a guide. All right, thou shalt not commit adultery. It says thou shalt not commit adultery. All right, so I'm not going to commit adultery with my neighbor's wife. What is the judgment on it? They both should be put to death. All right, I don't want to die, so I'm going to follow that law. That was how we was governed. You know?
It sounds harsh. It was for a reason. You know, so people wouldn't, you know, go off. If they did, it was consequences. It was severe consequences. It's not like in today's life where, you know, people just pretty much do what the hell they want to do.
Yeah.
That was to keep the evil out of Israel.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Read.
Yeah, keep going.
Verse 21,
Yeah, but it's not on.
the first man Adam
You want to let you do it?
weighed down with an evil impulse,
The first man, Adam, weighed down with the what?
with an evil impulse,
With an evil impulse. Go ahead.
sinned and was defeated.
Sinned and was defeated. He was defeated, man. You look at Jake now, Jake is defeated. All right, Satan got his way with 2/3 of our people right now. They're done for, man. All right? Go ahead.
And the same was true of all of his descendants.
All of his descendants. Go ahead.
So the disease became permanent.
So that what?
The disease became permanent.
The disease became permanent. Bro. That, talking about what? The stony heart.
Yeah.
That evil impulse. You know? Jake, wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. That's it. It's going back to what was sown in the heart of Adam. It just trickled down from there. It never stopped. But that's why this whole time we had to be guided.
Yep.
You know, if you like we was talking about earlier, that's why you got to train up a child in the way that he should go. Because we're given to evil from our youth. We cannot make our heart fleshly for stony. So automatically, as soon as some evilness comes there, it's sown in, it's taken in.
He said we had to be guided. We had to have teachers to teach us. We had to learn from men. You know, like that bug out said, "Oh, the Holy Spirit teaches." Yeah, the Holy Spirit does teach, but you got to learn from men also. We had to have, you know, doctors in the law to teach us, you know, certain things.
Yeah.
And one beautiful thing about having a physical man, they've walked the way that